Hey, and we're back, guys, with the next story. The Texas National Guard uses riot shields to hold back the horde of migrants trying to cross through razor wire in Eagle Pass, Texas, with one person hurling a rock towards a soldier's head. It's unbelievable what's going on with the footage. Essentially, if the migrants make it through the barbed wire and the National Guard, trying to hold them at the barbed wire. If they get through, then they get a pass, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, go off the line of those people over there, who are now going to be living in the USA. And so, like, it's just so ironic. Like, we're trying to stop them if we physically can push them back and hold them back, but there's always, you block these guys, and then these guys get through, and then okay, you made it, and then they all laugh. The immigrants have a little chuckle, like, hey, I made it, and then it's like getting picked for dodgeball, right? So let's read a little bit of the article and check out the footage. This is unbelievable. And this is January 13th article. And so Texas National Guards were seen using riot shields in an attempt to hold back the horde of migrants crossing the Eagle Pass. New footage taken of the clash, which happened a month ago, shows guardsmen narrowly avoid being hit by a rock. A record number of migrants have been passing through the Texan border in recent months, with 14,000 making it in over a 24-hour period last month. Video shows the reality on the ground as asylum seekers are seen scrambling over razor wire and through mud in a desperate attempt to reach the U.S. All while the Texas National Guard can be seen attempting to block their path using plastic riot shields. And here's a fit picture. As you see, the woman got through the middle, and she's on the team now. She's made it into the U.S. and can be a citizen. Here is the footage that made it on X. And so let's take a little watch on it. Small discretion, it's no big deal, but with what we've seen in the world today. And those two made it through. And that woman made it through. You see this game? This is so ridiculous. It's the federale, it's Biden administration making it, they're allowed to come in. And so, the feds say they're all allowed to come in, and Texas is saying not in our state. And they've been actually doing, busing all them down to New York and such, moving everybody, or that was Florida to New York, but I guess it's Texas over to California. If the Dems want them, they can have them, essentially. It's like, it's just absolutely crazy. There you have it, guys. If you make it through, you're made it through. You're on the team. It's crazy. Maybe a good time to read some comments from the American people here. Why can't the sheriff deputize every citizen that shows up? Thousands of Texas will come. None of these people can stay. None. Call it what it is, an invasion. It just frustrates me that these people think they have the right to break into our country. Who do they think they are? It's like believing you have the right to break into somebody's house. Let's see. We're telling them no, you cannot illegally enter the United States. They're pushing, yelling, and fighting to get through. They mean to enter whatever way they can. That's an invasion. Does the Texas National Guard have ammo for those guns? This is wrong. The video will be around in years to come. We will look back and feel shame and guilt. More barbed wire, then escort them back across the border. Wash, rinse, repeat until no more get through. Do this for each hole. When you cross into the country illegally and you refuse to leave illegally entered country immediately, what's the next option? So when the government refuses to shoot the invaders but has no problem shooting its own citizens over failure to pay taxes, they're living in a corrupt country ruled by tyrants. Signed, Common Sense. I wonder how the government would react if 10,000 whites crossed into Mexico to attempt to rush the border like this. I honestly think they would be only ones stopped. So back to the story. Earlier this week, Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed an emergency order to take control of a large public park along the Rio Grande without asking permission. The park is a new tension point in Eagle Pass, where large waves of migrant arrivals last month temporarily closed a rail crossing and overwhelmed shelters. The U.S. Homeland Security Mayorkas visited Eagle Pass on Monday, days after Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson toured the border city. But Eagle Pass Mayor Salinas questioned why the state closed the 50-acre park now, since daily apprehensions in the region have fallen in recent weeks. Shelby Park touches the river, including a ramp for boaters, and has been used by the state to stage vehicles and equipment for its border mission known as Operation Lone Star. Operation Lone Star was introduced by Abbott in 2022 and sees the state bus thousands of migrants out of Texas and into so-called sanctuary cities such as New York, Chicago, Washington, and Denver. There you go. Since its introduction, more than 100,000 migrants have been dispatched to such cities so far, according to the government. And we've all seen the answer from New York. They don't like it, and they bus them up to Canada, ready to go visit me. So back to Biden. Administration has submitted an emergency request for the Supreme Court to allow them to push through the Texas state blockades. This comes after a lower court ruled that they could not do that in December. The Justice Department argues that Texas is blocking the federal government from being able to respond in emergencies, but they have not been responding, and many would say this is an emergency. Texas is ready for the fight, according to Abbott. Texas will continue to deploy Texas National Guard soldiers, DPS troopers, and more barriers, utilizing every tool and strategy to respond to President Biden's ongoing border crisis. Republicans are working with Democrats to propose what is being called the Schumer-Lankford border deal, which would allow at least 5,000 more immigrants into the U.S. per day and allow them to work legally once they are removed from custody. This is Irnieracing, guys, on the Irnieracing YouTube channel. Cheers. Hey guys, so this is Marcel with Irnieracing here. I'm actually doing this report on the immigrants running into Mexico from Arizona, from my out free camping on the Bureau of Land Management. And after a couple more news stories, I'm going to head her off dirt biking and see what I see. Start exploring, head up the mountain, see what I find up there. Yeah, so. Oh, and the update is, so the Marcel Ernie, the youtube.com/Irnieracing channel is going to be primarily news, and any footage I get on that dirt bike or kind of the RV lifestyle or one wheeling, just, it's on the new named channel, Irnieracing Outdoors. And the Irnieracing Outdoors is the actual old @Irnieracing News channel. So we're trying to get rid of the news because the news is being censored in Canada. I don't want to use the term news in the title anymore. And so the Marcel Ernie channel is perfect for the news, while the news channel will become outdoors. So just search Irnieracing Outdoors. That channel will pop up. And if you enjoy the white whale, the solar, the Duramax, the kind of the outdoor vagabond lifestyle, motos, side-by-sides, hanging out with Tina, let me know. Get on that channel, Irnieracing Outdoors. This is what Epic is made of. Time to celebrate.
Just leave it?
Let's leave it.